Donald Trump just held a disastrous press conference with President Aoun, the president of Lebanon. At the same time, we know that the Trump regime is currently evacuating U.S. bases in the Middle East. At least a lot of bases are being evacuated, and military equipment and planes are being relocated to Israel because the United States simply doesn't have the munitions or the interceptors to protect these U.S. bases in the Arab nations, and they believe they still have the ability to protect the military equipment in Israel. There's a lot of other alarming developments this morning as Donald Trump was holding this disastrous press conference with President Aoun of Lebanon. We know that Iran has been working with the Houthis to basically shut down the Bab el-Mandab Strait to Saudi Arabian tankers. The Houthis said they were going to do a blockade for Saudi Arabian tankers, and we've seen them make good on that threat. At least 8 oil tankers linked to Saudi Arabian oil have been turned around in the Bab el-Mandab Strait. Also, another development, Iran announced, and we believe there's confirmation in the region as well, that it was able to successfully target an Amazon data center in Bahrain. And the IRGC said it will soon be targeting Tesla, Microsoft, Google, Apple, Nvidia, and Oracle are all now legitimate targets in the region as they assist the United States military. We're also seeing Iranian strikes right now against Arab nations, striking U.S. radar, early warning detection facilities, and striking infrastructure in the Arab nations based on the United States striking the infrastructure in Iran. Israel's Channel 14 says the United States is currently unable to protect its bases in the region. Even they're saying there on Channel 14, it's evacuating, and they're saying that's why we're seeing all of this equipment come into Israel. But with all of this as background right now, Donald Trump's been saying during this press conference moments ago with President Aoun of Lebanon, mind you, at the same time, Israel is striking southern Lebanon in residential areas. Donald Trump is now saying, once again, Iran really wants to make a deal. They're begging for it. They're begging for it. They really want to make a deal. We will not stop attacking them until they definitely want to make the deal, but they really want to make a deal. They haven't seen anything yet. We've been nice. We've been Mr. Nice Guy, but we will soon not be Mr. Nice Guy. They're begging. They're begging me for a deal, but I will bomb them until it is the right deal. We also are seeing U.S. service members who are now leaking video, and this is against the rules of Hegseth and the United States military. They're leaking photos and videos of the damage that's being done to these bases in the Middle East because they're terrified for their lives right now as the U.S. isn't protecting them at all. The U.S. may be moving their equipment, but these service members are in the barracks right there. Also, Donald Trump is posting weird AI images purporting to be Iranian women holding up things that say, "Stop killing us." They may be talking about you, Donald. You stop killing the little girls in Manab. Stop killing Iranian civilians. And you're posting AI images. What the hell are you even doing? Let's get to this disastrous presser that just took place. I wanted to give you all that background so you know what's been happening this morning. Oh, also, there's been another tanker or two that has been disabled in the Strait of Hormuz. I should mention that. Oh, yeah, and gas prices. The price of crude is over $91 a barrel right now, and prices are rising very, very high here in the United States. So a reporter asks Donald Trump, so there are no signs that Iran intends to stop fighting, and all of the intelligence reports that have been leaked recently said that you bombing them is not going to make them want to make a deal with you. So what do you say to that, Donald? And so Donald Trump starts yelling at this female reporter, "How do you know that? You know something that I don't know?" And the reporter says, "Well, I'm observing what's happening in the region." And Donald Trump's like, "They desperately want meetings. They're begging for it. They're begging for it. You don't know anything. You're fake news." Here, play this clip.
Yeah. Mr. President, there are no signs that Iran is ready to stop fighting. So what is the plan? Is the plan to just keep bombing until they give up?
There are no signs. Why, do you know something that I don't know?
Well, they continue to attack our allies and
You
kill
don't know
Americans.
what the dialogue is behind the scenes, that they want to meet desperately to try and end it because they're getting decimated. You don't get that when you listen to your fake station, but you don't know. You don't know anything.
So talks are
you know
still
something
possible,
that I don't
likely?
know? Do you know something I don't know?
Well, tell us.
I will tell you, they want to desperately meet, and until they're ready to meet in a meaningful way, we have no interest in even.
So the election.
Then the way Donald Trump describes 3 service members that we at least know of, I believe it's more, being killed in the base in Jordan. And there was another service member killed in Erbil, Iraq as well. Donald Trump says, this is how he describes it: Iran slipped something through in Jordan, and if we had other operators, that would not have happened. So Donald Trump is blaming it on the operators, and something just slipped. Just think about how dangerous this rhetoric is. Nothing just slipped. Every single day, Iran is shooting salvos of these ballistic missiles that are precisely hitting targets day in, day out. It didn't slip. And Donald Trump blames, it's just bad operators. That's what did it. Here, play this clip.
But we are doing very well. We are degrading them at levels that nobody thought was possible. They're being degraded really so seriously. They did slip something through in Jordan, and if we had other operators, would not happened, unfortunately. But because we have the best equipment in the world, we've stopped almost everything. But when you let other people do your job, with the United States, we let other people do the job, and sometimes it doesn't work out so well. But we're going to be going and paying our respects.
Then Donald Trump is asked about Pickaxe Mountain. That's an area in Iran where it's believed that they may be reconstituting enriched uranium and perhaps building a nuclear program. And Donald Trump's like, well, I'm going to make an announcement right now. I'm going to hit Pickaxe Mountain. I'm making that announcement right. I'm not even worried because there's nothing they can do about it. Again, the level of one, dangerousness, because this now further puts a target on our troops in the region. Number 2, the idea of escalating even more is going to be absolutely disastrous and catastrophic. And he just reveals the most highly I believe this war is unlawful and catastrophic, but just even think about it from an intelligence perspective. Dude's just out there saying, and here's what we're doing next, everybody. What are you doing? Here, play this clip.
Do you believe that Iran has moved nuclear centrifuges into Pickaxe Mountain? And when you say we're not done yet, what is left to finish?
Well, I think that they may have. We don't have it on record. All we do is read the fake news. We see the news is so wrong so many times. So, maybe this one they have right, but it's okay. It doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. You're talking about the centrifuges. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything unless they have the material. They don't have. We follow the material. That's where the action is, and we'll be hitting that area probably pretty soon. And there's not a thing they can do about it. Normally I wouldn't say that. If I thought they could do something about it, I would never say that. But we'll be hitting that area pretty soon, and very heavily.
Then a reporter says to Donald Trump, do you feel safe? Because, you're not going to be using the Qatari Air Force One anymore because he says it needs to be maxed out with all of this missile defense. Do you feel safe? And Trump's like, why? Why? Yeah. I feel safe. Why wouldn't I feel safe? Here, play this clip.
Say what?
Do you feel safe, especially considering
I
the
feel
effects on
safe.
your life?
I feel safe. Why wouldn't I feel safe?
Then Donald Trump talks about conquering Venezuela and bragging about taking over Venezuela and taking their oil. Play this clip.
I think people are very impressed. We took over Venezuela. We now have a great relationship with Venezuela. We went to war with Venezuela, and the war ended in one day. And we have now an incredible relationship with Venezuela. We're taking out millions of barrels of oil. They're making more money now than they ever made before, ever.
And then I thought this was very noteworthy right here, because then Donald Trump goes, and they're a very happy place since we've taken them over. But they've had this thing happen, this event that took place. They had a movement, a shifting of the earth. That's what Donald Trump refers to the back-to-back unprecedented earthquake that's killed thousands and thousands of people, and thousands still missing. It's going to be tens of thousands of deaths that's there. Donald Trump's like, I guess you would call it an earthquake. Let me further give you the red alarms that I've been warning about over and over again here. We know that fracking and drilling done certain ways and overloading terrain can actually trigger earthquakes. This was an unprecedented earthquake that took place. The fact that Donald Trump here has to also say, and it was unrelated, and it was unrelated to that, I think is the biggest help. And again, as I've said before, I don't want to veer into a conspiratorial area and start to say this is definitely what happened. But there are lots of red flags here, folks, and no one else wants to talk about it. Here, play this clip.
Very closely with the administration, and we get along very well. Venezuela is a very happy place. I had a tragic incident with the, with the event that took place a week ago. What a terrible thing that was. They had a movement, a shifting of earth that was unbelievable. They've never seen anything like it. A lot of people were killed. So it's all unrelated. But by the way, we were the first ones there to help. We were there to help Venezuela. It was an earthquake, I guess you'd call it. It was a pretty massive earthquake. And we were able to do a lot of good. But they lost a lot of people. Venezuela, the people are so happy that we're there. The jobs, everything's happening, and we're taking out many, many times the money that we spent on the war.
Then Donald Trump says, nobody knows the damage we've done to the Iranians, except the Iranians. Nobody knows but me and Iran. They are desperate. Here, play this clip.
Now, nobody knows except the Iranians the damage that we've done to them. We have done damage that will take them 20, 25 years to recover from. So if we left tomorrow, we had a big success, but we're not leaving tomorrow.
Then Trump's like, if we left right now, it would take around 50 years to rebuild because we've obliterated and we're not finished. We're not leaving right now. I mean, you literally sound like Hitler. You literally sound like the worst we're not leaving. You are a predator, right? Is there any doubt why this guy was found civilly liable for sexual assault? He's a predator. He's a sick, disgusting, psychotic predator. Play the clip.
So if we left right now, it would take around 20, 25 years to rebuild. Okay? And we're not finished at all. But if we left right now, it would take them a long time, years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now.
Then Donald Trump, you get to see how like reporters just view this whole Oval Office thing like a clown show. They're like, you told the Iraqi prime minister he's handsome. What do you think about President Aoun of Lebanon? Here, play this clip.
Question, please. Last week you met with the Iraqi prime minister and discussed him or described him as handsome and saying he could become one of the best leaders in the Middle East. How do you describe
Which one are we talking about?
The Iraqi prime minister. Yes. How do you describe President Joseph Aoun?
Well, I'd say he's handsome also, and I think he could become one of the most important leaders in the Middle East, actually, if we do this, because they've been trying to do this for decades, right? Decades and decades. So if I made that statement about somebody else, I would put him in the same category.
Then Donald Trump attacks Canada and says they need us to survive. They need us to survive. Here, play this clip.
But their leadership from Trudeau to the current leadership, I mean, in all fairness to them, they need us to survive. Without us, there's no way they can survive. So, but they've been very, very tough over a period of the last 50 years, actually.
Then Donald Trump says that he's speaking to Hezbollah, which he isn't, but he just lies about literally everything. He opens up his mouth and says, let's play this clip.
Are you still speaking with Hezbollah? You said in previous interviews that you're speaking with Hezbollah.
I wouldn't say that, but I would speak to Hezbollah, yeah. I speak to everybody. I'll speak to people that a lot of people think I shouldn't be speaking to, and things work out. I would speak to
Mr. President,
I would say this, if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah, you know, he's lived with Hezbollah for a long time. And if the president wanted me to speak to Hezbollah.
Then a reporter says, what's your view about the Houthis in Yemen's threat that they will shut down the Bab el-Mandab Strait in a blockade against Saudi ships? And Trump's like, there's no indication of that happening at all, but we will deal with it if it happens. There is an indication. If you just look at the VHF radio frequencies, you can actually see and hear the 8 tankers. If you see this, it's not actually all that complicated. You can hear the tankers turning around and being warned by the Houthis to turn around, and then they turn around, confirming on the VHF frequencies. And then you can see on the satellite footage that the ships turn around. That dude lies about every damn thing. Here, play this clip.
What is your level of concern of a blockade of the Red Sea by the Houthi rebels, opening up another front in the war?
See what happens. So far, it hasn't happened, might happen. But we take care of things. If something like that happens, we take care of it. You know, we've done that with the Houthis before, and we haven't heard from them in a while since we did what we did originally. That was about 45 days of very powerful action we took against the Houthis. And we've had no problem with the Houthis. They've had no problem with us for a long period of time, including during this conflict. I think that if there is something like that, we'll just have to take care of business.
Then Donald Trump says, you know, the Iranians, they were killing the protesters back in January like candy. What do you mean like candy? Who refers to people as candy? And 52,000. Didn't you say it was 40,000 last week? You know, the problem with the Trump regime lying about literally everything and then posting AI images of Iranian women and then just going from 40,000 to 52,000 to 30,000, just making up numbers, is that when there's actually a serious thing that goes down and you're trying to analyze actually how many protesters were killed, what's the actual number when Trump promised that he was going to help the Iranian protesters? Remember when Trump said he was going to help is on the way. Rise up right now. I've got your back. We don't know what the real number is. The guy lies about every single damn thing. You know, the guy who told you that the reflecting pool was torn up by vandals. That's the guy who's talking about the 2020 election and doing that. No, sorry, don't believe the numbers. Don't believe his numbers at all. Here, play this clip.
Extinguished. But I believe that by doing what we did, by terminating Iran, who's very evil people leading that country. You saw the number of protesters that they killed, 52,000 plus. I put a couple of them up today, young kids, they kill them. They kill them like they're candy. It's crazy what they do. They treat them so badly. They're just killing people just at random. Over 52,000 people, and nobody talks about it. But if I didn't do the attack on their nuclear sites, or if I didn't terminate the Obama agreement with Iran, which was an absolute hit on having them that was a road to a nuclear weapon. And our deal will be a wall. It already is. They can't have a nuclear weapon right now. We'll take them.
Then you have Hegseth saying, and here's the thing, we gave Iran every opportunity to comply. They refused to comply, so we will hit them 10 times harder. Hegseth out. Here, play this clip.
President Trump was, and it continues to this day. Iran's been given every opportunity to negotiate, to show that they're reasonable on the Strait of Hormuz. But if they're going to shoot at commercial shipping, then we're going to hit them, as the president said, 10 times harder.
Okay. You realize what a fool you look like. You realize that Iran right now is surgically hitting early detection, radar facilities, bases, desalination facilities. After you strike their desalination facilities, they're not just going blow for blow. They're going about 10% more than what you're delivering there. And they're hitting precise things so that if and when this escalates more, you don't have early detection. You don't have radar. You don't have the HIMARS. You don't have any of that. And then Donald Trump's like, but here's in conclusion, America's never been better. We're in a golden age. Everything's amazing. Everybody's rich. Everybody loves me. Goodbye. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President,
Thank you all very much. We're doing very well with Iran. We're doing unbelievably with the economy. We have investment. As you know, Toyota is coming in with the biggest plant, I understand, anywhere in the world. They're leaving Mexico. They're coming into our country. It's going to come into Texas, to be specific. We have more plants under construction now than at any time, by far, by many times. We have over $19.2 trillion being spent in America, and they're going to be opening up in a year and a half. And there has never been a time like this in America. Truly, it's the golden age of America. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
The hell was that? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, if you want the full story, how democracy got here and how we take it back, pre-order our new book, WTF America, today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.